I'm here today with my Who CD collection. I'm going to kick off with a box set of singles. These are individually packed in cardboard sleeves with pictured covers on them. My Generation one was Shout and See Me as the B-side. This goes right through to Real Good Looking Boy. So that's that box set. I got the Who's Last But One album now. Endless Wire. This is a digipack with a bonus CD for a concert at Lyon. There you are, 2 CDs in there. I got quite a few compilations which seem to mop up at every chance. The Ultimate Collection from The Who. Far from it, but this is The Who's Last. You can see a burning Union Jack on the cover there. The Who was live at the Royal Albert Hall. This is a triple CD. One of them is a bonus disc with 4 tracks on. Various guest artists appearing on that album. The classic, as it says, digitally remastered, etc., 2 CD containing Tommy on the 2nd CD, live at Leeds. I've got a few versions of that coming up. These are, again, in my usual haphazard way. They're not in any order of how many are what I like or chronological order. This Quadrophenia soundtrack, with Jimmy on the front there. This is joining the Who online thing. I got a CD, which was very welcome. A backstage pass, 2 CDs of live tracks, etc. Can't quite. It's a bit dark, the cover. My apologies for that. Now I've got 2 concerts I actually attended with the online thing these days where you can order CDs of the concerts. This is Bristol, UK, 28th to the 6th, 06 at Ashton Gate Stadium. It's the complete concert, which is a DVD, which is very good. I've got Cardiff, 10th to the 6th, 04. This was at the Motorpoint Centre. It wasn't called that then, but it is now in Cardiff, in Wales. And then I got the CD of the Bristol one aforementioned there. Those were bought online. If you've seen my vinyl roundup, you can see I've got another version of Who. Feel like you want to shout that title, Who, because it's like sort of in capitals. First studio album for so many years, it says on the front there. This is Tommy, this is the soundtrack. Double CD of the film. I remember going to see that when I was a teenager. Excited to see Elton John in those big boots. Who could forget that? Live from Toronto. Not an official release. Double CD of a tour with Roger looking very 80s-ish sort of there. Sort of another collection. It's called Pinball Wizard, the collection. Usual, well, not so usual. There's a few odd little tracks in there. It's nothing rare, but sort of that you wouldn't probably see on another Tricky Day, stuff like that on there. Going back to the 90s now, this is those classic Who digitally remastered tracks. This is a quick one with the first, one of the first mini operas that Peter attempted. This is the deluxe edition of the probably most fans' favourite, I would guess. Who's Next? This is a double CD with the Young Rick sessions on the 2nd CD, which is a good live thing. Who by Numbers, one of those digitally mastered weekends. Usually most of these have got a few extra little tracks. There's 3 live tracks of tracks actually on the album. Were recorded at Swansea, I do believe, which is not far from where I live. Greatest Hits and More. This has got another live CD attached to it. This is obviously the temp they're there for fans. the one SACD I've got for the Who, Tommy, and Good It Sounds. He says there's 2 discs with outtakes, demos, and stereo only demos on the second disc. Another the remastered version of the Quadrophenia soundtrack with obviously not just the Who, various artists, James Brown, except on there as well, mod influenced tracks. Another My Generation, the very best of Who compilation with the 4 faces there. Excuse the pun. Oil and Glass EP with a picture that was used on one of the programs for the concerts I went to, if I remember rightly. 6 tracks on there. 6 songs to a mini opera, subtitled. Odds and Sods compilation, much extended on CD. We're up to 23 tracks on this, so that's probably a welcome bonus for fans at the time. A couple of the Kenny Jones on drums albums coming up now, which spark a lot of controversy amongst people. Are they good? Are they any good? Or this Eminence Front is one track that stands out and still be played live. And that's with that, I want to say Peter Blake cover, but I'm not entirely certain about that, so sorry if I'm wrong. Face Dancers. It's Hard, with a seriously dated cover, I think, with the Pinball Machine. Hello, perhaps nostalgic, I don't know. This is the one with Eminence Front on, which I think is a really good track. Kenny Jones on drums, of course. This is Joined Together, live album. I think it's an interesting cover. This is a double CD again of it all. Sort of rarities collection. This is Who's Missing. We'll come to Who's Missing a bit later. B-sides, possibly not that sort of rare stuff, or alternate takes, stuff like that that popped up on the remastered editions. The 50, it's 50 CD, double disc, another compilation, and yet another compilation, Who's Better, Who's Best, with a TV performance, I think, on front, single CD, with all the obvious singles, mostly in their single edits. My Generation on a 2 disc remastered, with sort of B-sides, alternate takes on the second CD. The Kids Are Alright, soundtrack. If you've seen the vinyl thing, I got a recent release of that. Who Collection, double CD, with quite a wide range, a lot of tracks on there. One of the first to come on CD, I believe. Another interesting collection, the BBC Sessions, with that the very good photo on the front. My favourites, some of the Kids Are Alright. Despite what it says, Magic Bus, The Who on Tour is another compilation. American release at the time, 2 albums. Keep the profile high, I guess, at the time. Quadrophenia itself on CD. Double album, of course. Quality. The original Who's Next release on CD. One of the first. Remastered. Back to Back. Rarities 66 to 68 and Rarities 70 to 73, Volume 2. Back to Back collection, which is more of a sort of different artist. When Springs Off Up and it's Cedar's co-ad, free wrote on that. So it's again a B-sides rarities type thing. Who Sell Out Deluxe Edition, 2 CDs, bonus tracks, mono album version, stereo album version. Again, enticing those Who collectors in. The Who Are You? As I commented on the vinyl, that Keith sat on the chair. The last album with Keith on. Who Live at the Isle of Wight, 1970, double CD. Tommy on the second CD. Then and Now. This was a time with the remastered versions. Because most artists seem to bring out a compilation CD when they release their work. This had a couple of new tracks, Real Good Looking Boy on Old Red Wine, I think written in memory of John, who had recently passed away. This is, and the vinyl collection I was talking about, that Roger Daltrey said that the better concert on this certain tour was Live at Hull, and it finally got released a few years back. It's a double CD, more or less the same track list as Live at Leeds, but Roger maintains that it's a better recording, and they were playing better that night. The Who Sell Out digitally remastered with all those B-sides, bonus tracks, alternate versions on. Probably the first, well, not the first, but the first official big compilation, Meaty Beaty Big and Bouncy on CD. And I got a couple of ones I picked up at Rec Fair quite cheaply without the covers and stuff. One's Tommy and one's Live at Leeds, which I put in my own cases. That's my Who collection on CD. I hope you enjoyed.